UvaldeRadio.net. Good morning. I'm Robert Miguel here with you, celebrating School Choice Week all week long. And in doing so, we are featuring various administrators, principals, heads of school at some of Uvalde's finest educational options. Of course, there's a wonderful public school system here, but this week we are featuring our private school choices and homeschooling as well. And with us right now on the phone over at St. Philip's Episcopal School, I've got the head of school, Joy Jechow. Did I say it right? Jechow?
Jechow.
Jechow, all right. So, I asked you how to say it in advance, and I still messed it up. So, Jechow, all right. Well, welcome to the program. Thank you so much for taking some time out to tell us about you and, your wonderful school, the curriculum, all the great things. We're going to talk about a lot of good stuff today.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
So first of all, Joy, tell me this. I know you're relatively new at the campus, well, actually in the title, but how long have you been at St. Philip's Episcopal School now?
Yes, I have been at St. Philip's Episcopal School for a long time. Okay. I taught in the classroom for 17 years.
Wow.
And then I was retired for a short time, about a year and a half or a little more, and then now I am head of school at St. Philip's Episcopal School, so I'm back.
So now Jean Ann, who I've interviewed over the years here during School Choice Week, she was with you guys until recently. What was that transition like? I guess being away, coming back, was it like riding a bike, or was there a little bit of catching up to do?
Well, a little bit of both. I know the school has been a huge and wonderful part of my life, but it was from the perspective of being in the classroom. So it's a very familiar and wonderful, dear place to me that I love very much, but it is from a new perspective, being in the office and then being out and about as the head of school. So that is new, and I'm learning as I go, but I have lots of wonderful support from our office administrator, Mrs. Sherry McCaslin, from the pastor of the church, who's very involved in the school, who is the Reverend Dr. Michael Marsh, and then the school board president, Lisa Mummy, who all help and support me greatly, and all the staff.
Now, I think a lot of us adults anyway, we might think of, like, when we hear head of school or principal, we think of that, that person in that office, with the paddle hanging up on the wall. But I guess if you wouldn't mind, let us know some, misconceptions about your job as principal or head of school, and maybe some surprising things that maybe people don't know that you do on the regular.
Well, the head of school, I'm finding, wears many hats. We all picture the head of school sitting in the office, and maybe it's really quiet and maybe a little dull unless there's perhaps a discipline issue, but I'm finding that that is not true at all. The office is always busy. There are always people calling and coming in, and there are the expected. There is some administrative work and paperwork and things like that. Occasionally discipline concerns where we visit with students and help them to choose a better path or work on more positive aspects of their conduct. But that's really just a small part of it. A lot of it is being out and about on the campus, in the classrooms, car drop-off and pick-up, and then working with boards, the school board, and people who support the school. So there's just lots of things happening.
So let's go ahead and go back to the very beginning. What was your inspiration to get into education? What was your schooling? I guess give us a quick, the quick hits on the resume and your path to become head of school at St. Philip's.
Well, I grew up all from the time I was a very young child, from 3 years old. I grew up in the town of Huntsville, Texas, and went to Huntsville Public Schools. And so I went in the fall of 1966 to first grade in Huntsville, Texas, and went all through the public schools there and graduated from high school there. And then my higher education was at Texas A&M University,
Oh, okay.
and I went to Texas A&M and graduated there in December of 1981 with a Bachelor of Science degree in Educational Curriculum and Instruction. And then I began teaching elementary age children.
Wow. And then I guess from there you just kind of worked your way up the ranks, huh?
Well, yes, I was, as I said, I was in the classroom throughout. That was my calling. I worked for a while in the classroom, and then I did take a number of years off to be a stay-at-home mom with my own children. But I always knew that I wanted to be a teacher from the time I was in the second grade. I clearly remember in the second grade thinking that I want to be a teacher. I want to do what I see my teacher doing, and I think that it would be just the best thing for me to do. And mainly that's because I really have a heart for children, and I have a desire to let each one know that he or she is very unique and precious. I want to help them learn and grow and help them to channel their ability and their energy into worthwhile, productive paths.
Now, do you live here locally in Uvalde now that you're instructing here, or do you commute?
I have lived in Uvalde now for 35 years.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So you are Uvaldean through and through.
Yes, I have. I've now lived in Uvalde longer than I ever lived in my hometown. Yes, I've been here for 35 years.
We are excited to have you. All right. So, man, so obviously you've got deep roots here, and obviously you enjoy the school. I guess let's go ahead and talk about St. Philip's Episcopal School, the actual campus. Give us the address and the phone number, just some basic information, and a little bit of history maybe of the building and location if you have that.
Okay. St. Philip's is located at 343 North Getty Street in Uvalde. St. Philip's School and St. Philip's Church are all part of the same campus, and they're very much intertwined, not only in physical buildings, but also in their work and their mission and their cooperation with each other. We have grades 2K, which is 2-year-old children, up through 4th grade here at St. Philip's. And St. Philip's School in 2021 just celebrated its 60th birthday.
Wow.
It was very special, yes.
Happy birthday, St. Philip's.
Yes, it was founded in 1961.
Now, did you guys have a special celebration, or was it just passed up? Oh,
yes, we did have a special celebration. Actually, we're celebrating all year. We wear shirts every Friday, special Friday shirts that say Happy Birthday to St. Philip's and St. Philip's 60th birthday. And then we had a big celebration in November called the Diamond Jubilee Gala, because a Diamond Jubilee is a 60th celebration. So we had that event with a lot of supporters gathering to celebrate the school and also to raise funding to continue the work of the school.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into, the actual curriculum. Now, we talked about this at the top. We've got a wonderful public school system here that works real hard, but it's really awesome to have various choices and options for our kids, because not every family, not every student is the same. So options are wonderful. What is it that St. Philip's, as far as curriculum and teaching, all that, sets it apart from the public schools and the other private schools in the area?
First of all, we strive to teach children to love and to honor God, and to love and to serve others. And that's just a natural part, an emphasis of the Christian faith. That's what it's all about. And so we begin there, and we seek to educate the whole child, focusing on academics, on their spiritual development and growth, and on their social and emotional learning. So that's the focus. We do have a climate that supports academic achievement, and our children learn just a strong foundation of academics that prepares them for whatever they want to do later on in life. some of the curriculum that we use in our early childhood. We use Scholastic, which is a really good program called Big Day for Pre-K. We use that, and then as children move into kindergarten, they begin with Saxon, which is a really good program that's tried and true over many years, with Saxon phonics and Saxon math and journeys reading. And so they incorporate that up through the early grades. And they also have a lot of enrichment. They have hands-on science as they get into grades 1, 2, 3, 4. We also have art, we have music, we have library, we have STEAM, which is science, technology, engineering, art, and math.
Wow.
Of course, we have physical education. And then we have, as part of a Christian school, we have a wonderful special class called Godly Play, which helps, and the children love it. It's one of their favorite. They go once a week, and they learn about the stories of the Bible and the truths of the Bible, and in hands-on ways. And so those are just the foundational things of St. Philip's School.
It sounds like the kids are going to be, ahead of the curve once they kind of age out. Where do the majority of your students go? Do they kind of file into public school? Is there another private school that you guys work with where you might funnel them through?
Our children go in many different directions, and they do well wherever they go. We do have a climate that supports achievement. We've seen our students have much academic success after they leave St. Philip's. Some of our students go here locally to Uvalde Independent School District after they leave St. Philip. A number go into newer part of UCISD, the Dual Language Academy. Okay. We also have some students who have gone on to Canepa School District. We currently have some of our former students in Sabinell School District, and even some have gone to the Utopia School District, and we have some that have gone to Uvalde Classical Academy and Sacred Heart School. So our students have gone to all of the schools I can think of that are options after here, and they have done well, and that schools are happy to have them.
Now, you mentioned the Dual Academy, and I was lucky enough to have a tour of St. Philip's at one point, maybe a couple of years ago, and you guys just seem to have a really remarkable Spanish class.
Yes.
Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
And I was just thinking that I wanted to talk about that. Spanish is considered an enrichment class, but it's really part of the core foundation, because they go to Spanish every single day, and we have an outstanding Spanish teacher who teaches them, and it's very enjoyable. They learn vocabulary, they learn conversation, they learn culture, they learn about Mexican culture and participate in cultural activities such as, some of the major Mexican holidays are celebrated. And then they also do things like making homemade tamales, holding a tamalada, and
nice.
Some really enjoyable activities. So yes, we have an outstanding and strong and excellent Spanish program, and so we're saving one of our best enrichment activities for last to discuss that.
Oh, very, very good. Well, again, we're talking to Joy Jechow over at St. Philip's Episcopal School, and that's over there on North Getty Street. The website, let me see if I can pull that up real quick and mention that just a real quick plug, spesuvalde.org. Again, that's spesuvalde.org, and you can check out information about the campus curriculum, maybe registration. Let's go ahead and talk about registration, maybe what the application process is like. Do you suggest parents come by, get a tour? What does that all look like?
Yes, we will be opening up registration for the 2022-2023 school year in February, and we welcome interested parents to come by. We'd love to take them on a tour around the campus and see our facilities, and then see our classes being held, see our students, our teachers. So we are happy for people to stop by, and we encourage them to call, and so we're ready, and we can meet with them to do that. And so registration will be opening in February, but we're happy for anyone to come even before then.
Now, as far as tuition goes, can you speak on it? And again, if this is something that you need to speak to a parent privately about, that's perfectly fine.
Yes.
As far as tuition goes, how does that look? Are there scholarship opportunities? As far as the financial part, how much can you give on that?
Yes, our annual tuition for full day school on a 10 months, our annual tuition is $5,445 per year, and it's a very reasonable fee. We know some people who pay that more than that just to a daycare center for their child, which whatever you spend on your child is money well spent. So anyway, we feel like our tuition is very reasonable. It has not been raised in several years, and it will not be raised this year. It is on a 10-month basis. So that comes out to $544.50. We do have opportunities for qualified families to receive financial aid, and we have an independent service that evaluate their application and determine, what their, qualifications would be for financial aid.
And parents can just, when they take the tour, they can get information about that at the same time.
That's right. And the information is on our website. The applications for enrollment are also on the website and can be downloaded, or we have registration packets available in the school office.
Now, I hate to go on any negative side, but would there ever be maybe a scenario where a child maybe would not be the right fit for your campus?
It's possible. We admit students, of all races, creeds, colors, nationalities, and so we're very welcoming to students, and so I don't see that happening very often, if at all. But the only time where if a child needed services that we do not offer,
I see.
That would basically be the circumstance where it might not be the best fit. Sometimes students do need extended and advanced and diverse services that we might not offer.
Absolutely.
That would basically, I think, be the only scenario where it might not be a fit if a child needed more specialized services than what we offer in our regular education.
Well, again, we're talking to Joy over at the St. Philip's Episcopal School. She is the head of school, and the phone number over there is 830-278-1350. The website is spesuvalde.org. Now, before we wrap this up, I know you mentioned one of your fundraisers early on, but do you have any cool events, fundraisers, galas, parties, any kind of things that the community should know about coming up soon?
We do not have a fundraiser coming up soon. Our major one was in November, and that was the Diamond Jubilee Gala. We also have smaller fundraisers throughout the year. We have at the beginning of school in September, we have Charleston Rap, but we also have people who just love the school, and oftentimes it's former students who love the school and want to contribute to continuing the legacy of the school to offer those opportunities to other children. And so we do have people who donate to the school, and we appreciate that so much, and sometimes do honorariums or in memorial to the school. So that's part of funding that comes into the school, and we appreciate all of that.
Well, Joy, we really appreciate all this great information about your campus and curriculum and registration and everything. Again, we've been talking to Joy over at the St. Philip's Episcopal School. Is there anything else we need to hit on before we wrap this up?
Well, I would just just like to say, obviously, I believe in St. Philip's School. I've seen the difference that it makes in students' lives, in the lives of their families, and in the community of Uvalde for 60 years. So if you have children between the ages of 2 and the 4th grade age, which is generally 10, I would encourage you and invite you to come and see for yourself and talk to other parents also who have children here or people who have been students themselves here, because I think they'll tell you that it's a very special place.
Well, it's hard to argue with that. So again, Joy, thank you so much for your time. Again, St. Philip's Episcopal School in the, what's the address again over there?
343 North Getty Street. We're directly across the street from the Chamber of Commerce.
That's right. And again, the phone number, 830-278-1350, and the website, spesuvalde.org. Thank you so much for your time and sharing all this information with us, okay?
Thank you.
All right, it's going to wrap it up here with UvaldeRadio.net on School Choice Week.